The boardroom was silent. A glass table. Bright city lights outside. Mr. Carter, the CEO in a sharp blue suit, slammed his hand on the table. Eli, the thin office boy with worn shoes, stood frozen. A few coffee cups were spilled on the floor. Mr. Carter shouted. "Are you blind? You spilled it again. You are useless, Eli. Useless." Everyone watched. No one spoke. Eli's hands shook. His eyes filled with tears. He stared at the floor, afraid to look up. In his heart, one thought burned. One mistake, and I am nothing to him. The staff whispered. Some hid their smiles. No one knew. The useless office boy was holding a secret that could save the whole company. And soon, the truth would explode in front of everyone. If you were in Eli's place, what would you do? The day had started like every other day. Eli reached the office early, before sunrise. He wiped the glass doors. He set the chairs straight. He carefully placed water bottles on the big meeting table. His uniform was clean but old. The color had faded from washing. His shoes had a small tear near the side. As he worked, he looked at the big company logo on the wall and thought, one day, maybe I will sit in a chair inside that meeting room, not just clean it. Eli was not just an office boy. At night after work, he studied business from free online videos. He read old books he bought from a street stall. He wrote ideas in a small notebook, dreams that no one knew. But at the office, no one cared. Eli, move faster. Mia, the receptionist, called from the front desk. Her voice was not cruel but hurried. Yes, I'm coming, Eli replied, running with a stack of files. He passed the glass office of Mr. Carter. Inside, the CEO was talking loudly on the phone. Tomorrow's presentation must be perfect, Mr. Carter said. If we lose this client, we lose millions. Do you understand? Eli paused for a second outside the door. He had heard about this big client. A foreign company. Everyone in the office was stressed. Mia whispered to him. You know, if Mr. Carter is in a bad mood, don't go near him. Eli smiled weakly. I never go near him. He just shouts anyway. Mia sighed. I know. But we need the job, right? Eli nodded. My little sister's school fees depend on this. He went to the pantry to prepare coffee for the managers. He heard two staff talking behind him. Why do they keep this office boy? One man said. He looks like he hasn't eaten a full meal in a year. The other laughed. Cheaper than a machine. That's all. Eli pretended not to hear. His chest hurt, but he stayed quiet. He had learned to swallow insults like bitter pills. Later that afternoon, Mr. Carter called him. Eli, bring coffee to the boardroom. Right now. Eli rushed. His hands were tired. His legs ached. He carried a tray with hot cups. Inside the boardroom, the top managers sat around the table. The big screen showed slides with graphs and numbers. As Eli walked in, Mr. Carter glared at him. Hurry up. We don't have all day. Eli's heart raced. He placed 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. Then, his finger brushed the edge of the tray. 1 cup shook. Coffee spilled onto the shiny table, and a few drops hit Mr. Carter's expensive suit. Everyone froze. There was a long, painful silence. Eli's hands shook harder. I'm sorry, sir, he whispered. I didn't mean. Mr. Carter stood up so fast his chair rolled back. You didn't mean? You are always making mistakes. He shouted. Look at you. You can't even carry coffee. What else can you do? Eli's eyes filled with tears. He stared at the floor. His throat felt tight. People like you are a burden, Mr. Carter continued coldly. You are useless. Do you hear me? Useless. The word hit Eli like a slap. Some staff lowered their heads in shame. Others looked away, scared to say anything. Eli whispered. Please, sir. I really need this job. Mr. Carter replied. Then learn to do something right for once. He pushed the tray back at Eli. The metal rattled. Eli picked up the cups with shaking hands and left the room. His heart felt heavy. In the corridor, he took a deep breath and wiped his eyes with his sleeve. I am not useless, he thought. I just never got a chance. As he turned to go back, he noticed something. On a side table, near the door of the boardroom, a laptop was open. The big presentation for tomorrow was on the screen. Mr. Carter's name was on it in bold letters. Eli's eyes moved over the numbers. He had studied the market for this client secretly. He knew some of the figures were wrong. Very wrong. If they show this, he whispered to himself, the client will not trust them. He stood there, frozen between fear and courage. Should he say something? A poor office boy correcting the mighty CEO? He heard footsteps coming. He quickly stepped back, his heart pounding. What Eli did next would change everything. That night, the office was almost empty. The lights on most floors were off. Only a few windows still glowed in the tall building. One of them was the pantry, where Eli sat alone. Everyone else had gone home. He had stayed back, saying he needed to finish cleaning. But his cleaning was already done. On the table in front of him was a company laptop he was allowed to use for basic tasks. He opened a blank slide. His heart was beating fast, but his eyes were clear. I can't watch them lose this client, he thought. If they lose it, maybe many people will lose their jobs. Maybe even me. Eli pulled out his torn notebook. Inside were pages of scribbles, graphs, and ideas. He had worked on them at night in his tiny one-room home. He whispered to himself. They think I'm just an office boy. But I know this market better than they think. He started to type. Simple words. Clear numbers. He fixed the wrong data he had seen on Mr. Carter's slides. He added real facts from the news and reports he had read. He wrote lines like, our workers are our strength. We understand local people because we are local people. Hours passed. His eyes burned, but he kept going. Sometimes his hands shook with fear. What if they get angry? He thought. What if I lose my job for touching the presentation? But then he remembered his little sister's face when she got her first school uniform. He remembered his mother's tired hands, washing clothes late into the night. I can't stay silent, he whispered. I have to try. At last, the new presentation was ready. He saved it on the laptop with the name. Plan_B. Client meeting, final backup. At the bottom of the last slide, in small letters he wrote. Prepared by, Eli, office support staff. He stared at his own name for a long moment. His eyes filled with tears again. Maybe no one will ever open this, he said softly. But at least I know I tried. He closed the laptop, cleaned the pantry one more time, and went home under the cold night sky. The next morning, the whole office was buzzing. Today is the big meeting, Mia said, fixing her hair. If this goes well, Mr. Carter will get another award. Eli walked in quietly. He had barely slept. He went straight to the meeting room to set water and notepads. His hands were steady now, but his stomach felt tight. Mr. Carter entered with a group of managers. Behind them, the important client from overseas walked in with 2 assistants. They all wore sharp suits and serious faces. Good morning, everyone, Mr. Carter said with a smile. His voice was smooth now, not like yesterday. Today, I will show you why our company is your best partner. Eli stood at the back with his cleaning cart, near the wall. He kept his eyes low, but his ears were open. The lights dimmed. The big screen lit up. Mr. Carter clicked on his presentation. Slide after slide appeared. At first, everything seemed fine. But then, the main slide with key numbers came up. The client frowned. Excuse me, the client's partner said. These numbers, they do not match our reports. The room grew tense. Mr. Carter blinked. What do you mean? The client replied. Here it says market growth is 25%. Our data shows only 8%. Your figures look inflated. A heavy silence fell. The managers shifted in their seats. Sweat appeared on Mr. Carter's forehead. He clicked to the next slide. More wrong numbers. The client's tone turned cold. If you are not honest with your data, how can we trust your company? Mr. Carter's voice shook slightly. There must be some small mistake. I will explain. One of the board members, Mr. Daniels, whispered sharply. Carter, what is going on? These numbers are bad. They can sue us for this. Eli felt his heart racing. This is it, he thought. This is the problem I saw. At the side table, Mia nervously opened the laptop to check the files. Her hands trembled. Maybe there's another version, sir, she said. Maybe IT saved a backup. She clicked through the folders, one by one. And then she saw it. Plan_B. Client meeting, final backup. What is this? She murmured. She opened it. The first slide looked clean. Simple. The numbers were correct. At the bottom of the screen, her eyes widened. Prepared by, Eli, office support staff. Her heartbeat jumped. She looked up at the room full of powerful people and then at Eli, standing quietly at the back. Mia took a deep breath and spoke. Sir, there is another presentation here. Mr. Carter snapped. We don't have time for this. But Mr. Daniels cut in. Wait. Show it on the screen. Mia hesitated. Her finger hovered over the trackpad. Eli's heart pounded so loud he could hear it in his ears. If they see my name, he thought, my life could change or end. Mr. Daniels repeated firmly. I said, play it. Now. The whole room turned to the screen. What they were about to see would shock everyone. The room went quiet as the new presentation appeared on the big screen. The first slide was simple. No flashy colors. No loud promises. Just a clear title and one honest line. We grow when we grow together with our clients and our workers. The client leaned forward, interested. Mia clicked to the next slide. Correct numbers. Clean charts. Each point was explained in easy words that even a child could understand. This is actually accurate, the client's assistant whispered. These match our data. Mr. Daniels glanced at Mr. Carter with a hard stare. Did you make this? He asked. Mr. Carter opened his mouth, but no words came out. Mia swallowed and said, No, sir. At the bottom it says, Prepared by Eli, office support staff. All heads turned slowly. Their eyes landed on Eli. He was standing in the corner, holding a cloth, his shoulders tense. His face turned pale. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Mr. Daniels said, Eli, come here. Eli's legs felt weak. His hands shook as he walked to the front. His eyes stayed on the floor. Did you make this presentation? Mr. Daniels asked. Eli's voice was soft. Yes, sir. I saw some wrong numbers in the main file. I got scared they would cause trouble. So I stayed last night and made a backup, just in case. The client looked impressed. You did this? He asked. You are an office boy? Eli nodded, ashamed. Yes, sir. I am just the office boy. But I study business at night by myself. I only wanted to help. He waited for someone to shout at him. To call him stupid. To call him useless again. Instead, there was a long silence. Then the client smiled slightly. This is the kind of honesty and initiative we look for, he said. Not fake numbers. Not big talk. Real work. Real courage. He turned to the board. If this young man works here, maybe your company still has hope. The staff murmured. Eli felt his chest tighten. Tears filled his eyes, but he blinked them back. Mr. Daniels looked coldly at Mr. Carter. Yesterday I heard you shouting, he said slowly. You called him useless, didn't you? Mr. Carter's face turned red. He remembered his own words, sharp like knives. You are useless. Do you hear me? Useless. Now those words felt like chains around his own neck. Yes, he whispered. I did. Mr. Daniels continued. And yet, the useless boy just saved your biggest deal. And maybe the whole company's name. The client nodded. We will sign the deal, he said, but with a condition. We want people like him to be respected, not crushed. Everyone looked at Eli with new eyes. Mr. Daniels turned to him. From today, he said, you are no longer just an office boy. We will give you a scholarship to finish your business studies. You will also work as a junior analyst with our team. Eli couldn't breathe for a second. His hands covered his mouth. Tears finally rolled down his cheeks. He whispered, Sir, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Then Mr. Daniels said one more thing. But before that, Mr. Carter has something to say to you. The whole room turned to the CEO. The powerful man in the expensive suit suddenly looked small. His hands trembled. He walked up to Eli. For the first time, he did not look down at him. He looked him in the eye. His voice was low and rough. Eli, I was wrong. There was a pause. You could hear the air conditioner in the silence. Mr. Carter continued. I insulted you. I humiliated you in front of everyone. Not because you were useless, but because I was too proud to see your value. His eyes were wet. He swallowed hard. I am truly sorry, he said. Please forgive me. And please, stay with this company. We need people like you. Eli stared at him, shocked. This was the same man who had thrown words like knives at him. Eli's voice shook. I forgive you, sir. He wiped his tears and added. But please, never call anyone useless again. Sometimes, the person you step on might be the one who can save you. The staff clapped softly. Even Mia's eyes were shining with tears. Later that week, Eli came to the office in a new shirt, still simple but fresh. He carried not just a cleaning cloth, but also a laptop. He sat at a desk with the other analysts. He still greeted the cleaners, guards, and helpers with a warm smile. He never forgot where he came from. Mr. Carter changed too. He started greeting the lower staff by their names. He listened more. Shouted less. Whenever he saw Eli presenting in a meeting, he felt a stab of guilt and a deep respect. Karma did not take his money. It did something deeper. It broke his pride and made him human again. If you have ever seen someone insult a poor worker like they are nothing, Remember this story. No one is useless. Sometimes, the people you look down on are the ones holding the secret that could save you. Never judge someone by their job, clothes, or status. Respect every person. Because one day, the weak person you insult may be the one standing between your fall and your future.